So you finished Iron Flame, maybe screamed into a pillow, maybe threatened to throw the book, and then remembered you're watching a video instead. No judgment. A quick recap. Violet Sorrengail survived year 2 of Dragon School, barely. She got tortured, betrayed again, started a rebellion, accidentally triggered a magical ritual, and watched her mom sacrifice herself to save the world. Oh, and Xaden? Yeah. He used forbidden death magic to save Violet's life, which turned his eyes glow venom red. And now you're here, ready for more emotional devastation? Welcome to Onyx Storm, the third book in Rebecca Yarros' Empyrean series, where the dragons are majestic, the romance is messy, and everyone's trauma has a signet. Our girl Violet is back and running on lightning, trust issues, and sheer spite. And her number one problem? Her shadow-wielding boyfriend Xaden may or may not be going full villain. Love that for her. We've got betrayal, a magical map nobody trusts, a war council that needs therapy, and, oh yeah, a wedding. But before Violet can save the world, she first has to figure out if the man she loves is still on her side or just wants to burn it down. So we open with Violet doing what she does best, pretending everything's fine while internally screaming. The world's falling apart, Vannon are on the rise, the magical wards protecting everyone are cracking like cheap pottery, and her boyfriend Xaden is now officially Venom Light. He hasn't gone full dark side yet, but the red rims in his eyes, not a good sign. Even his dragon Segale isn't talking to him. Drama. Meanwhile, Violet's not just emotionally spiraling, she's got a mission. Andarna, her golden dragon, is actually part of a mysterious 7th dragon breed, the Irids. They're so ancient and hidden, no one's seen one in centuries. But they might hold the secret to fixing the wards, or curing Xaden before he turns into a magical dementor with muscles. So Violet gets a task force. Sounds cool, right? Yeah, no. The Cenarium, aka the Kingdom's crankiest council, slaps a war vet with the personality of Dry Toast in charge, and fills the squad with people Violet neither knows nor trusts. And then, surprise, they walk right into a trap. People die. The task force is a disaster. Violet's barely holding her team together, let alone the mission. So she pulls a power move and picks her own crew. Enter, her rider dies. Dane, the ex-childhood friend who betrayed her but got a redemption arc, and Kat, the blade-wielding menace, are back in the mix. Joined by a mix of royals, rebels, and chaos goblins she barely knows, but somehow has to keep alive. Together they form Chaos Squad. Their next stop, Poromiel, land of the Griffin Riders. Violet needs their alliance, but Navarre, her home kingdom and land of control freak leadership, hates sharing power. So Violet does what any hero with a moral compass and flexible ethics would do, commits treason. Yep, she tweaks the ancient ward stone so Griffin Riders can use their magic within Navarre. Is it illegal? Technically. Does it work? Absolutely. It's the first real step toward cooperation, and the Cenarium is furious. As punishment, the whole squad gets shipped off to a random military outpost, which should have been boring, but of course, it's not. Violet gets intel that Newhall, a nearby village, is under venom attack. She wants to intervene. The brass says no, so naturally she says, "Cool, I hear you," and immediately goes anyway. They arrive mid-massacre. Violet finds herself face-to-face with a woman she's seen before. Silver hair, deadly aura, zero chill. Her name is Theophany, and she is terrifying. Theophany doesn't just throw lightning, she throws storms. And she's not just powerful, she's strategic. She doesn't try to kill Violet. Instead, she smiles and says, "See you soon." Worse, she seems to know exactly who Andarna is and wants her. As if things weren't stressful enough, Violet also starts realizing something disturbing. A lot of her squad mates, including herself, are showing signs of second signets, something that's not supposed to be possible, like at all. So it's like, oh cool, we're either chosen ones or magical nukes in progress. Also, Jack Barlow, the class jerk everyone thought was dead, still alive, still venom, still being weird in a prison cell, and dropping cryptic one-liners like he's auditioning for a villain monologue competition. So to summarize, the mission's a mess, the squad's traumatized, the enemy is watching. Violet's magic is acting weird, and Xaden slowly slipping away. And yet, this is only the beginning. Because the deeper Violet digs into the truth, the more it looks like she wasn't meant to survive this mission, she was meant to be the weapon. After the Newhall disaster, the squad's reward is a glamorous new assignment, getting exiled to Deverelli, a kingdom so anti-fun it makes Navarre look like spring break. Violet's new assigned job: negotiate with King Courtland, the ruler of Poromiel, to finalize an alliance with the Griffon Riders. Sounds simple? Yeah, it is not. The meeting goes from 0 to everyone's about to get executed in 2 seconds. Turns out Courtland is wildly paranoid and not super into the idea of Violet's crew trespassing on his continent without permission. You know, small thing. To stop the king from killing her entire squad, Xaden offers up the blade of Aricia, his family's sacred heirloom dagger, as collateral. For him, this is like cutting off a piece of his identity. For Violet, it's a red flag wrapped in sacrifice. Xaden is unraveling and fast. Oh, and speaking of unraveling, Xaden uses his shadows again during the escape. It saves them, but it makes his eyes go even redder. He's sliding toward Venin, and Violet knows it. But does she say anything? Of course not. This is a romantasy. We suppress those feelings. Once things calm down, read Nobody Dies for 5 straight pages, Violet starts doing some snooping. She finds a journal left behind by her father. It's full of coded entries and half-buried secrets, but a few things stand out. Her father was researching the 7th breed long before she ever bonded Andarna. He believed the Irids, the mysterious 7th dragon breed, were still alive. And he left a map. Yes, a map. Violet is basically living in her own treasure hunt now. But while Violet's on that Indiana Jones side quest, the rest of the squad is watching Xaden closely. Sigale still isn't speaking to him. His shadows are getting darker, his temper shorter, and his "I'm fine" face cracking. Even Brennan, Violet's brother and resident moral compass, is starting to suspect something's off, but he keeps it quiet for now. To make matters worse, Violet's own magic is getting glitchy. Her signet is acting unpredictable. She starts experiencing memory flashes and dreams that don't feel like hers. Some of them show ancient wars, some show Xaden dying, and in one of them, she's holding a blade she's never seen before. Foreshadowing? Absolutely. Back at base, tensions are rising. The Cenarium still doesn't trust Violet. Poromiel's cooperation is shaky at best, and while her squad is loyal, there's one glaring problem. They still don't know what they're really fighting. So, if Violet thought diplomacy was exhausting, island hopping for lost dragons is the plot twist she did not order. Armed with her dad's mysterious map and emotionally repressed squad, she sets off on a continent-wide scavenger hunt to find the Irids, the long-lost 7th breed of dragons that Andarna may or may not be related to. You know, the mythical, peace-loving dragon hippies no one's seen in centuries? Fun. Technically, they're supposed to check back in after every island visit. Actually, Violet hears that and goes, "What if?" No. So off they go, ignoring every safety protocol in the book and heading straight for chaos. Starting with, done. It's peaceful. Too peaceful. And there is Theophany, aka Storm Barbie, back and badder than ever. She doesn't just throw lightning, she throws full-blown magical climate change. And this time, she's not here to chit-chat. She's all, "Join me or I storm your life into oblivion." Violet declines respectfully and runs. Next island, Hedotis. Hope you're hungry because it's time for a surprise poisoning. The local rulers welcome Violet's crew with hospitality and a side of venom. Literally. They poison everyone's drinks mid-meeting. Classy, one of her squad drops mid-toast. Violet threatens to lightning blast the temple unless someone forks over the antidote. Spoiler, they do. Very quickly, with zero chill. So now they're alive, but burned every bridge on the island. Still worth it. Probably. Moving on, it's the Hilna time, where diplomacy involves a twisted card game that's basically fantasy poker, but with death stakes. Trager, a griffin flyer, and unfortunately not a main character, loses and dies. on the spot. It's traumatic. It's awful. It's also the only way Violet's team gets access to Poromiel's Griffin army. So that's one life lost and one alliance gain. She'll be unpacking that in therapy for a decade. Finally, the squad reaches the island, the one the map was pointing to, home of the Irids. And Darna is shook. She recognizes it. She's practically glowing. But the welcome? Ice cold. The Irids refuse to speak to Violet. They talk only to Andarna. And what they say ain't pretty. Basically, you've been hanging with humans too long. You're corrupted. Gross. Ouch. Andarna, sweet baby dragon queen that she is, decides to stay, to train, to learn, to become whatever it is Irids are meant to be. Violet lets her go, not because she wants to, but because she has to. Andarna flies off into the clouds like the end of a sad dragon rom-com, and Violet just stands there like, cool, I love abandonment issues. Thanks. With Andarna gone, everything feels off. The squad's rattled, Xaden's spiraling. Even the vibes are broken. But wait, plot twist, back to Dun, where Theophany is waiting and in full storm mode. The temple goes boom, ceilings collapse, the air smells like fried fear, and Violet has zero good options. That's when a mysterious prophecy kid appears holding a dagger that Violet has literally seen in her visions. No big deal. Just fate slapping her in the face. He gives her the blade. Violet doesn't even question it. She does what any girl with unresolved issues, a lightning signet, and a lot of built-up trauma would do. She stabs Theophany. Dead. Storm ended. Peace restored? Not quite. Because the second Theophany dies, something shifts. In the air. In the magic. In Violet. It's like she just unlocked a secret final level, one she didn't know she was playing. And as everyone around her celebrates, Violet is just standing there thinking, this was way too easy. That wasn't the final boss, was it? Well, let me tell you, it was not. You'd think after killing a storm goddess and losing her dragon, Violet would get a minute to breathe. She doesn't. The squad heads back to base, and the vibes, next level awful. Xaden's brooding at 200% capacity. Mira's done pretending everything's fine. Dane looks like he's one team meeting away from a nervous breakdown. Everyone is cracked, tired, and held together by trauma and caffeine. Violet's not doing great either. She's mourning Andarna, questioning everything, and trying not to think about that weird shift in magic after she stabbed Theophany. She's also not sleeping or eating or talking much, so, totally fine. And then she does something truly unhinged. She asks Imogen, squad member and the one person who can mess with memories, to wipe her mind clean. Yep, that's where we are now. No one knows why. Violet won't say. Imogen doesn't argue, just nods and does it. For the record, when someone asks you to erase their own memory, it's almost never because they have a great plan. So, next thing we know, Violet wakes up in a strange bed wearing a wedding ring. Yeah, it's Xaden's bed, Xaden's house, and she has Xaden's last name. Apparently, she is now the Duchess of Terrandor. Cue Violet blinking at everyone like, what did I miss? And the squad, they're all like, you don't remember any of it? Nope. Not the wedding, not the reason for the wedding, not the last 12 hours of her own life. She's got a blank space where answers should be and no Taylor Swift album to explain it. Imogen finally comes clean. Violet begged her to do it. Said she needed her memories gone. Said it was the only way to keep everyone safe. Cool. That's not unsettling or anything. Xaden tries to explain, but honestly, he's cagey, weirdly distant, and still red-eyed, and he won't say what really happened, just that it was necessary, which is also what people say when they burn down cities or marry you while you're unconscious. Meanwhile, Violet's lightning is still acting up. Her dreams are getting darker, and somewhere deep in her gut, she knows she didn't ask for that memory wipe just because of stress. She saw something, she learned something, and she was scared enough to erase herself to keep it hidden. So if there was ever a time Violet needed a win, it's now. But unfortunately for her and us, Onyx Storm is not that kind of book. Violet's trying to piece her brain back together post-memory wipe, and everything still feels off. Her magic is unstable, her instincts are screaming, and her dreams, straight up haunted house material, like ancient runes, whispering voices, blood-soaked battlefield haunted. Meanwhile, Xaden is doing great, if great means emotionally shutting down and avoiding eye contact like a guilty Labrador. He's distant. He won't talk about the wedding. He definitely won't talk about the fact that Violet's lightning starts reacting whenever he walks into the room. So naturally, Violet does what she does best, snoops, and what she finds? Pain. But make it plot. Turns out Xaden's been hiding something huge. Not about Violet, not about the marriage, about Sigale, Xaden's dragon. After losing her magic for too long, Sigale was basically on life support. And the only way to save her, Xaden had to channel again, which means he crossed the line. No more Venin Light. He's now full-blown, capital V Venin. No redemption loopholes, no going back. He did it to save his dragon, which is noble, sure, but he also didn't tell anyone, not even Violet. And just when that emotional dumpster fire is getting cozy, boom, 4 riders and their dragons vanish. Gone. No footprints, no blood, not even a dramatic villain monologue. Just poof, like they took a wrong turn into a void. And then come the rumors. What if they didn't disappear? What if they turn? Everyone's thinking it. Can you actually trust someone who's become the very thing you're supposed to be fighting? Especially when that someone is the guy you married and kind of forgot about doing that. So she confronts Xaden, and it's not a shouting match. It's not even dramatic. It's quiet. He doesn't deny it. He doesn't beg for forgiveness. He just disappears into shadow. No goodbye. No, this isn't what it looks like. No explanation. Just gone. Now Violet's left standing in Rierson House, newlywed to a man she barely recognizes, with a Duchess title she never asked for, and a whole lot of heartbreak she didn't see coming. And somewhere out there, Xaden's walking the edge of darkness with red eyes, a broken oath, maybe a squad of Venin riders no one's ready for, and Andarna, who's still gone with the wind. End of book. Good luck emotionally recovering.